You've probably heard this 1,000 times. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But what if it's not? What if the breakfast you've trusted for decades, the one you thought was heart-healthy, brain-boosting, and doctor-approved, is actually the #1 trigger for silent inflammation in your body? Take Richard, 67, retired teacher, never smoked, walked daily, ate a perfect breakfast every morning, whole-grain cereal, low-fat milk, a glass of orange juice. Yet by age 68, he was dealing with aching joints, blurry memory, and pre-diabetes. His doctor was puzzled until they looked deeper into his morning routine. New research from Harvard and the British Medical Journal found that one very specific type of carbohydrate, when eaten on an empty stomach, can trigger inflammation within just 30 minutes. And it's nearly every popular breakfast style. So what is this breakfast trap? And how can you reverse the damage before it's too late? Let's break it down.
Now, to be clear, this video is not personal medical advice. Everything you hear is for education only. Always talk with your doctor before making diet changes. But what we're about to share comes from real clinical studies, real patient journeys, and the science of aging you were never taught. If you're over 50 and you want better joints, better memory, and fewer prescription pills, this could be one of the most important videos you watch this year. Before we dive in, leave a comment below. What do you usually eat for breakfast? Are you more of a toast person, eggs and coffee, or cereal and juice? Let us know your routine and we'll reply with personalized tips, what to keep, what to tweak, and what to toss. Let's get into it. Here are the 7 surprising breakfast traps that trigger inflammation, starting with one that almost everyone thinks is safe.
Number 7. Orange juice, the sugar bomb in disguise. Most people think orange juice is a healthy way to start the day. It's fruit, right? And fruit is good for you. But here's the truth. Just one glass of orange juice, even if it's 100% natural, can contain over 20 grams of sugar. That's more sugar than a glazed donut. When you drink that on an empty stomach, your blood sugar spikes fast, and just minutes later, your insulin goes into overdrive trying to bring it down. This roller coaster leads to a pro-inflammatory response that affects your joints, brain, and even your heart. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that diets high in fructose, especially from fruit juice, were linked to higher markers of inflammation like C-reactive protein. Richard's morning juice? It was one of the hidden reasons his knee pain flared every day by 10 a.m. Tip: replace your juice with filtered water and a squeeze of real lemon. Or try eating a whole orange instead. Fiber slows the sugar spike. 6. Whole grain cereal, the brown box that lies. It says heart healthy, it says whole grain, but turn the box over and you'll see a wall of ingredients you can't pronounce and a sugar count that rivals a candy bar. Even healthy cereals often contain added sugars, refined grains, seed oils, and preservatives. All of these create an inflammatory storm in your gut, especially dangerous for people over 50, whose gut barrier is more vulnerable. One 2019 study in Frontiers in Immunology found that processed grains and emulsifiers in boxed cereals can damage the gut lining and trigger low-grade chronic inflammation. And here's what that means for you: more joint stiffness, more mental fog, and a slower metabolism. Tip: try warm, unsweetened steel-cut oats with chia seeds and cinnamon, or better yet, eggs and sautéed spinach for a blood sugar-friendly breakfast. 5. Flavored yogurt, the gut wrecker you didn't expect. Yogurt? Isn't that supposed to be good for your gut? Well, not all yogurt is created equal. Flavored yogurts, especially fruit on the bottom or vanilla, are often loaded with high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavorings, and thickeners like carrageenan, which is known to trigger inflammation in animal studies. Even worse, these yogurts kill off the good bacteria they claim to support. Instead of healing your gut, they feed the bad bacteria, which leads to bloating, mood issues, and joint pain. A 2020 paper in Nutrients Journal reported that sweetened dairy can increase inflammation markers in older adults, especially those with metabolic conditions. Tip: if you love yogurt, switch to plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt and add your own fresh berries and ground flaxseed. You'll still get the probiotic benefit without the sugar overload.
4. Toast and jam, the silent spike combo. It's a breakfast classic. A slice of warm toast, a little jam, maybe even margarine. Simple, nostalgic, and dangerously inflammatory. Let's break it down. Most commercial bread today, even whole wheat, is made from refined flour that quickly breaks down into glucose, spiking blood sugar. Then comes the jam, pure sugar with almost zero fiber, plus preservatives like sodium benzoate and citric acid, both linked to inflammation. This combination, high carb, high sugar, low protein, puts your body into a pro-inflammatory state right from the start of your day. And if you're over 60, your cells are more sensitive to this kind of oxidative stress. In 2021, a paper in the Journal of Nutrition and Aging revealed that older adults who consumed refined grains and added sugars at breakfast had significantly higher levels of interleukin-6, an inflammatory marker linked to cognitive decline and arthritis. Let's go back to Richard for a moment. He used to pair his juice with 2 slices of healthy wheat toast. He didn't realize that meal alone was pushing him toward prediabetes and brain fog. Tip: swap toast for sourdough or sprouted grain bread, and instead of jam, try mashed avocado or a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. Your brain and joints will thank you. 3. Low-fat margarine, the plastic butter problem. For years, margarine was pushed as the heart-healthy alternative to butter. Doctors said it was better because it had no cholesterol and was low in saturated fat. But here's what they didn't tell you. Most margarines are made from highly processed seed oils, like soybean, corn, and canola, that are chemically extracted using heat and solvents. These oils are unstable, and when they're heated, like on your toast, they produce oxidized fats, known to cause cell damage and systemic inflammation. A groundbreaking study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that older adults with high intakes of omega-6 seed oils had a 62% higher risk of inflammatory disease, including cardiovascular and autoimmune issues. In real life, these fats can cause your joints to ache, your skin to dry out, and your arteries to stiffen, slowly, silently, every morning. Tip: replace margarine with a pat of grass-fed butter, a spoon of cold-pressed olive oil, or nut butter with no added sugar or oils.
2. Coffee with artificial creamer, the inflammation cocktail. Now, don't panic. Coffee itself is not the enemy. In fact, black coffee can actually be anti-inflammatory in moderation. But the moment you add non-dairy creamer or sugar-free flavoring, things change. Most artificial creamers are full of hydrogenated oils, corn syrup solids, and chemical thickeners like mono and diglycerides. Some even contain caseinates and artificial sweeteners that confuse your metabolism and disrupt your gut flora. A 2022 study in Frontiers in Endocrinology showed that artificial sweeteners like sucralose and acesulfame K, commonly used in sugar-free creamers, can increase insulin resistance and trigger gut inflammation in adults over 50. And over time, that means slower digestion, mood dips, and joint pain, even if you think you're choosing the light option. Richard's morning cup of coffee was innocent enough, but his hazelnut creamer, That little splash packed a daily dose of inflammation he didn't even notice. Tip: try your coffee black, or mix in unsweetened almond milk, coconut cream, or a dash of real cinnamon for flavor without the damage.
1. Instant oatmeal packets, the hidden trap dressed as health food. It says heart healthy on the box. It's quick, easy, and warm, and you've probably had it for years. But instant oatmeal packets are one of the most deceptive breakfast traps for seniors. Here's why. First, most instant oatmeal is heavily processed. The oats are steamed, rolled thin, and pre-cooked, so your body digests them incredibly fast, spiking your blood sugar almost as quickly as a bowl of white rice. Second, nearly every flavored packet, maple brown sugar, apple cinnamon, peaches and cream, is filled with added sugars, natural flavors, maltodextrin, and preservatives. That means you're starting your day with a high glycemic carb bomb mixed with chemical additives and zero protein or fat to slow absorption. One large cohort study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that seniors with diets high in instant carbohydrates were more likely to experience inflammatory symptoms, including fatigue, joint stiffness, and cognitive decline, even when calories were controlled. But here's the part that most people miss. When you eat sugar-laden instant oatmeal without balancing it with protein and healthy fat, you're essentially telling your body, "Inflame me, then crash me by noon." Let's go back to Richard one more time. He switched from cereal to oatmeal thinking it was better, but his knees still ached, his memory still felt cloudy. Only after switching to homemade steel-cut oats, cooked slow, and topped with walnuts, cinnamon, and a scoop of plain Greek yogurt for protein, did the fog begin to lift. Tip: if you love oats, choose steel-cut or old-fashioned oats. Cook them with unsweetened almond milk, add chia or flax seeds, and a spoonful of plain Greek yogurt for protein. Skip the packets. Your future self will thank you.
Now, we'd love to hear from you. What was your go-to breakfast growing up? And which of these breakfast traps surprised you the most? Drop your story in the comments and let us know if you've already made changes that helped your memory, energy, or joint pain. We read every comment and we reply with guidance tailored to your needs. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend or loved one who might still be eating one of these common inflammation breakfasts without knowing the risk. There's still time to turn things around, because when your first meal changes, everything changes. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious, stay kind, and take care of your beautiful body, one meal at a time.